fellas, how you going? Cosplay. It involves sewing, props, makeup, electronics, wigs, resin casting, armour, skits, hand sewing, socialising, embroidery, woodwork, painting, soldering, carving, gluing, recording, burning, acting, dyeing, performing, leatherworking, beading. But every cosplayer finds they like some aspects of cosplay much more than others. So today, I wanted to discuss the 7 different types of cosplayers that everybody will be able to relate to. And be sure to stick around to the end of today's video because I've made something really cool that every cosplayer should try out and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So, 7 different types of cosplayers, which one do you relate to the most? Let's find out. The first type of cosplayer you're going to see are the kind who love sewing. Now these kinds of cosplayers, their best friend will be the sewing machine, and they love using fabric. You're going to find them spending their money at places like fabric stores, Etsy and Taobao, and they really love making Victoria-era themed costumes. However, they really hate using hot glue, and you might find them saying things like, "God damn it, the bobbin ran out of thread again." Cosplayer type number 2, those who love making wigs. Their best friend is the hairdryer, and they love using hairspray. You'll often find them spending their money at places like wig stores, eBay or hair salons, and they love making Yu-Gi-Oh costumes. Now, they really hate the wind in particular because it tends to ruin everything, but you'll obviously hear them saying things like, "Yeah, after you inhale hairspray for a while, you get used to it." The third type of cosplayer you'll find are those who love makeup. Now, these fellas have made best friends out of their mirror, and they love using their makeup kit and everything in it. You'll obviously find them spending lots of their money at cosmetic stores, and they love making horror-themed costumes. Now, the thing that they hate the most is the urge you get when you want to rub your eye because it's itchy. It's going to ruin all your makeup. But ironically, you're going to hear them saying things like, "Man, I can't wait till I get home so I can take off all my makeup." Cosplay type number 4 that you're going to find are those who love making armour and props. They're going to make best friends out of a really good pair of scissors, and they love using foam. That being said, you'll often find them spending their money in places like craft stores, hobby stores, or just anywhere that sells good foam mats. Mostly to make costumes because they love World of Warcraft designs. That being said, they really don't like sewing, and you'll often hear them say something like, "Hey, can you give me a hand getting out of this? I can't sit down." Cosplayer type number 5. Those guys who love making weird things. Now, weird things are a separate category because it's not something that you typically sew or not something that's considered a weapon or an armor set, so it's got a category all on its own. That being said, these guys are the jack of all trades because their best friend is the hot glue gun. And obviously their material of choice is hot glue. And obviously you'll see them spending their money on hot glue sticks, and the costumes they'll make will be just about anything because hot glue works on everything. And as you can expect, the thing that they hate the most is the week before the convention, where they'll often be heard saying things like, "I wish I started sooner." Cosplayer type number 6 are those who love making skits. Their best friend here will actually be their cosplay partner who they perform skits with, and their material of choice will just be their own sense of humour. And you'll usually find them spending their money either accessing or buying their own decent recording equipment so the audio for their skit sounds good. And in terms of costumes, they'll make just about anything as long as it's got potential for a good skit. But the one thing that they hate the most are cosplay competitions where they don't put enough weight on the skits themselves. That being said, their favourite quote will be something like, "Oh, thank God, we finally finished the audio for the skit. Now let's finish the costume." And finally, cosplayer type number 7. They cosplay because they love the social aspect of it. Their best friend will be the cos cards in their pocket, and their material of choice will mostly just be cosplay conventions themselves. You'll find them spending their money on a phone that takes awesome selfies, and the costumes that they like to wear are generally just the type that you can find online. And the thing that they hate the most is just waiting for the next convention to come around. That being said, you'll probably hear them saying something like, "Hey, we should catch up sometime." Now obviously there's hundreds of different elements which can be included into each individual cosplay costume, but I chose to simplify them into these 7 categories because I found that there's at least a small element of each of these that will be included in every costume that you make. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I created something really cool which you guys could probably do yourself, which would show off the kind of cosplay that you are. And ta-da! This is one that I completed myself. Now, it's basically a template of the 7 different cosplay types that I've mentioned in the video before. So you fill out the basic information, your favourite cosplay photo, and how much you enjoy doing each of your 7 cosplay activities. Now, as you can see here, I'm not really that fond of wigs and makeup in particular, but I really love making weird things and the social aspect of cosplay. So if you're keen on filling out your own, I've left the link in the description below, as well as a link here. And once you flat out, definitely share it with me, guys. I'd love to see what you guys come up with and the kind of cosplay that you are. And just in case you missed one of my earlier posts, I'll be heading down to Smash in Sydney next weekend. Now, I'm really excited for Smash because I actually haven't been down there in a few years to visit, and I'll be running a panel there for the first time, so if you guys are heading down, I might catch you there. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you, and as always, I will see you in another video next week. Bye.